Hey everyone, Happy New Year, Happy 2021. Today I'm going to showcase some of the books that I picked up from last year in the year 2020. With the pandemic going on, I wasn't really able to go out too much to go find any new books. Mostly stayed in, and some books I was looking online to order, but a majority of the time I kind of stepped back from book collecting for the entirety of last year. But I was able to get some, luckily, because I always like to refill my books collection. And on top of that, I've sort of shifted my collecting last year to Hot Toys from Sideshow Collectibles, because I do have some Star Wars figures that I collect from there. So I was kind of shifting my budget over to figures again. So also, if you want to see some of that, I'd be happy to showcase some of the figures that I currently have as well. Okay, so the first set of books is actually nothing crazy. They're just some raw books that I was able to get during the year, and they're all from the same lot from a friend who doesn't have too much comic book knowledge, but they said they had a family member cleaning or renovating a house or something, so it was one of those kind of like up in an attic kind of lot from house moving. So these are these books. So the first book we have is Avengers 154. It's an older book. It's not perfect condition. It's probably the lowest grade out of all of them, but nice Atuma cover there. The next book here is Omega the Unknown #2. It's a nice Incredible Hulk on the cover. I don't know too much about Omega as a character, but still very clean. The third book from that lot is a Marvel's Presents #6. Very beautiful Guardians of the Galaxy book. Color's still there. The next book in that lot is the Mighty Thor #252. It's got a big chunk on it, but other than that, it's relatively a clean book. The next book in that lot is The Defenders #44. We got the Hulk and right in the center, and it still presents really beautifully. The next book is Invincible Iron Man #93. This is probably the cleanest book out of the lot, but there is this kind of dark patch. I'm not sure if it's a water stain or just dirt, so I don't know if it'll be able to be cleaned, but it's generally a good reader book to have as well. Now the next few books I'm going to show are some of the pickups that I actually bought over the course of 2020, which again I didn't buy too many, so these are just some of the standout ones that I actually did buy. So this is probably a chunk of it. The first one is Boy #71. Next issue is Contact #8. This is another Golden Age book, as well as a wartime book. The next book is Avengers #2. This is actually a pretty nice copy. Of course, it's not Avengers #1, but it's still a good book to own. The next book here is X Factor #6. Now, in my previous video, I did say I owned this, so this is an upgrade of this issue. This copy has some creasing and some wrinkles in it, some color breaks, so it's not as perfect. They're both newsstand editions, so that's just an upgrade version. This one's like a 9 to a low 9, mid 9, I would say. So, I just needed an updated one. Uncanny X-Men 266, first appearance of Gambit. I've been looking for this book for a while, and this one's just a reader copy. It's got some spine ticks, and it should be pressed out to be a little better looking, but I was able to find this for a steal compared to what they go for now. Planet Comics #71. It's just a cool sci-fi Golden Age book, and this is actually the first Golden Age book that I picked up this year, and first Golden Age book in my collection, the other two being the Boy comic and Contact Comics. But this is one of my favorite covers, and I found this sort of by chance, and it just really pops for being a Golden Age book. Here we have Star Wars issue #6. This is a first print, very clean copy. Star Wars #5, also first print. Star Wars issue #4, also first print. Star Wars issue #3, also first print. Star Wars #2, first print. And of course, we have Star Wars #1 in first print. Now, I've had all 6 of these books in the second printings or later printings, but for the first time, I've decided to get the first 6 run in the first print, and they're all in like mid to high grade. And with the Mandalorian series and all this new Star Wars hype, and especially with the Disney Investors Day, those books have been going up for sure. Another book that's been going up a little bit in price, Iron Fist 14, First Appearance of Sabretooth. Now, I've been eyeing this book for a while and was just not satisfied with the issues that were kind of going around for sale. This one still, however, is a little lower grade than I would imagine. It's got some creases, but it's still First Appearance of Sabretooth, and it presents really well, probably at least over a 7.0 in my opinion. So if I get this graded, I'm happy with owning this book. Next book I'm about to show was actually a trade that I got from one of my friends. Now, my friend has been working on a Silver Age Spider-Man and a Spider-Man key kind of run, so I ended up giving him a good amount of my older age Spider-Man books that were, reader books, but it included First Appearance of Shocker, First Appearance of Prowler, and a bunch of other kind of good keys for him. But I kind of really was looking for this book at a lower price, and he gave me a pretty good deal on it, considering, one, it's a book that I'm trying to look for completing my own run of Marvel books in a specific series, as well as the prices now on average for, I would think, especially even in this grade, goes for a few hundreds. So that is X-Men #12, First Appearance of Juggernaut. It is definitely a really nice presenting book. Besides, over here, you got this little corner damage, and it's a little rip, probably over time. Someone just reading it just kind of kept bending it, and it ended up falling off. But, for a book in a lower grade, usually there's writing on the X-Men. There's no kind of too many bends on this. Besides the spine, you get tick wear as usual, like you would expect. But the majority of it is pretty good. The color's still there. You can see, at the edges, some colors missing. But Silver Age books, I wouldn't expect to find too many in a high grade, or at least a grade close to this for this issue. But again, X-Men 12, you can't beat that First Appearance of Juggernaut. And I personally am working on a X-Men run. I've seen a lot of fellow YouTubers or fellow comic collectors who have a goal of owning the 1 through 66 original Silver Age X-Men issues, and I currently am working on that. I have a third of the issues in mostly reader copies, but just owning these really cool Silver Age grails, especially like this one, I'm just happy that I just got this through a trade. I didn't have to spend the current price that I see average going for like a few $400 or $500 plus, and I got this for a trade of maybe a value of $200 books or so. Big keys over here. I've been working on Claremont runs, but this one is going for my Silver Age X-Men collection. Now, speaking of my X-Men collecting, the last book on this list that I have gotten from 2020 is this issue of Giant Size X-Men #1. Now, you may have seen in my last video that I do have 2 copies of this. This one was the first copy that I got. It's very low grade. You can see there's a lot of color distortions and a lot of wear and tear on this. It probably does not grade more than a 2 or 1.5 or something, but reader copy, and I'm eventually going to try to grade this. And with all the mutant hype going on, and with Disney acquiring the X-Men franchise, I think I will grade this and probably sell to get more comics in a later date. But the big key issue here is my second copy of Giant Size X-Men #1, and this one I got signed by Chris Claremont, and unfortunately it got a restored grade, which I wasn't expecting, because I just bought it from a seller. The seller didn't really know that either. I think it's just been passed around over time, and someone did small color touch to it. But it generally presents really well, and it's a 7.0 signed by Claremont. Like, you can't beat that, even though it's, restored. I'm not going to complain, of course. And just working on the X-Men run, this is going to be a hard book generally to find, even in the wild. So, again, happy 2021. Hope everyone stays safe and has a good time comic book collecting this year. So, thanks.